You know, Welcome to Let's Talk. I'm your host, Denise Rollard Barnes. August is a time when we recognize the achievements, leadership, and contributions of women across our communities. And today, we're highlighting an organization creating meaningful opportunities for Black women to connect, grow, and thrive professionally and personally. Joining me today is Dr. Carletta Hurt, president of the DC Black MBA Association, the organization that is preparing for its annual women's event, Mast Her. I want to say master, but MastHERpiece, designing a life with intention. And that title really speaks to the heart of the conversation. It's about being intentional about the lives we build, not simply responding to the demands of day-to-day work and family and community, which are all very important, but taking the time to think about our goals, our wellness, and the legacy that we want to create. So this year's symposium will feature 4 dynamic panels along with 2 health and wellness sessions, giving attendees an opportunity to talk about professional growth while also addressing the real need to care for ourselves along the way. And this event has special meaning for Dr. Hurt as she enters her final year as the president of the DC Black MBA Association. So we'll talk with her not only about what women can expect from this year's symposium, but also about her leadership journey, the impact she hopes to leave, and what she's learned along the way. It's my pleasure to welcome Dr. Carletta Hurt to Let's Talk.
Thank you so much, Denise. That was an amazing introduction. I'll pay you to come with me every time.
Well, I got to thank the producer too, because I mean, she helps sometimes to put the words in my mouth, and but they are also in my heart because we have worked together, and I have seen your leadership, and I think it really speaks to, all that you've done for the DC Black MBA Association to make it the organization that has the impact that it does today. So, it's from me as well.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Happy to
Yeah.
be
Let's dive in first and talk about the MastHERpiece,
here.
designing a life with intention event that's coming up on the 22nd. Give us some
Yes.
details.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you go.
Oh, I'll say, well, thank you again. Our Women's Symposium is one of our premier events. We've done it now for 8 years, even during COVID. So I'm very excited to have a dynamic set of women who joined us to host the event, yourself included. But really, this year, I was thinking about a topic, and really what I wanted to do is my last year as president. And I really want to look at intention and making sure that I'm being intentional on how I show up for my members, but also as I begin to wrap up and do some succession planning, how am I intentional about what I leave behind? And I think as Black women, sometimes we focus so much on everybody else that we don't really focus on ourselves. And so this last, I guess, 6 months, 100 and something days, I'm really focusing on myself and myself being professionally. What am I doing personally? How am I growing financially? How are my coins looking? But also civic mindedly. What am I doing to make sure that what's happening around us, not just in this administration nationally, but also locally, am I doing my part to make an impact? So hopefully when people come to this, our symposium this year, they'll take away some part of any of those things and do something different when they leave.
Well, I know, particularly for women in the DMV, well, women in generally, there's certain sort of life changes that happen that make us really focus on the things that you're talking about. Either, it's marriage, it's children, it's divorce, it's new job, it's graduating from, getting a degree, it's losing a job, all of that. And especially in the DMV, so many women have, had to transition out of positions, and now they're having to do this reset, right? And
Yes.
so, not to get into your business, but I'm curious about. I mean, you're leaving, the organization, and I mean, what is it that sort of inspired you to kind of focus on this? Not just what other people need, but what Carletta needs.
Honestly, Denise, I embarked on my journey with DC Black MBA when my son was just a mere 4 months old.
Oh
He'll be
wow.
December. And so I am looking forward to when I thought about like what I've done this far these last 9 years as a member of the chapter and the last 7 on the board is what I want to leave behind. But more importantly, what am I making sure that I don't leave from myself? And when you work with the organization this long, you find that it's a part of your life in ways you didn't realize. And so as I begin to work to peel back, the stronghold it has had on my life, I begin to realize there's so many other things I want to do and things I want to be. And so that's part of when I thought about having this event about intention, is that sometimes we get so engrossed and we're passionate that we lose some piece. It's still there, but it's not cultivated. And that's what I will figure out, like I did as I started this last year of my journey as president, is making sure that I begin to reflect on what was I doing 7-8 years ago that I'm not doing now, or what have I not done fully in these last 9 years because of where I am, and really thinking about how can I start back doing that, or if it's really something I want to do, or maybe something different. But there's not going to be a nice little hole or where DC Black MBA was. However, I have a plethora of things happening in my life that I'm really excited about in this next chapter. So I think I just want women to begin to realize that where you are and what's consuming you isn't always all of who you are. And just take a moment, take a beat, and be intentional about thinking about what else am I not doing, or what else could I be doing that might fulfill me differently.
So you have a panel of panels. Actually, you have a interesting group of women, and I'm glad to be among the group. I'm not sure what I'm going to be able to offer, but you said some things that certainly do strike home for me. But how did you select these women, and what is it that you hope your attendees will get from the messages that they're going to deliver? I mean, the titles of their workshops or
the panels. One of them. So I was wanting to stay on theme. I love a good theme, and so it's like MastHERpiece, painting, creating, and I'm a creator in my other life, and so the blueprint of influence is about advocacy, not just politically who you're voting for. Now, you should be voting. Let me say up front. Not who you're voting for. Is more important about, do you know why you're voting for them, right? And do you know what policies are impacting you indirectly and directly? Because I think what's happened recently for all of us is we're realizing these big kind of national, global things really do trickle down to impact us locally, and that's where you really can make an impact. So I'm really hopeful in this panel and conversation. We got somebody from PG County. We got somebody who's a lobbyist, also a privately just passionate person who really works to advocate for young people. That's where my heart is. And just having a real conversation around, do you know what's happening in your neighborhood? Like, not what's happening on TV, but are you really in tune with what's happening in your neighborhood? Because that's where you live, that's where you work. And I think we forget that it's down up when it comes to politics. Like, the things you do locally impact nationally. That's how judges are selected. That's how people are nominated for these positions. It starts locally. So really want to push that conversation. The leadership panel, I'm super excited about Ira Straight-Span, who's been a long-time partner and supporter as a headhunter, HR professional for years. And it's a discussion around, you can lead from where you are if it's a corporate, or you can lead from home as an entrepreneur, but where are you leading yourself? Like, forget about the people around you, but where are you leading yourself? And they're going to talk about coaching, and that we sometimes forget, as not just Black women in general, that we need support to give us some direction. Like, if you want to play football, you go to camp. If you want to be a good basketball player, you take time to practice. And we don't always practice the leadership skill of saying no, setting boundaries, recognizing what fulfills us versus what we do and how it fulfills other people. So we got a really robust conversation with 3 amazing women who have their own businesses and one corporate person around how they've been able to figure out how they lead themselves in their own personal journey versus always leading others. Our wealth influence panel, which you're on, it just talks about how we're creating generational wealth, and being a part of an organization like Washington Former that your father started and you're still continuing, and what that looks like, what that feels like, and that having wealth isn't always about how much money you have, but what are you creating that's going to have long-term impact for generations to come. And
I'm glad you're acknowledging that part. But anyhow,
No, but it's important because young
yes,
people,
it really is. Yeah,
we grew up, I turned 50 last year. So 50 hits a little different now that I'm in the space. And you think about money and influence very differently. And so for me, I'm collecting art. I'm investing in real estate. I'm buying stocks for my son. Like that's how I'm thinking long-term wealth and how am I going to make sure that he has some things maybe I didn't have, but I'm
right.
thought intentional about making sure that, I recognize we don't even know what's going to happen in 5 years. Sometimes even 2 years when it comes
That's
to
true.
economy. How am I? And I want women that come to the conversation on Saturday to start thinking like that. And if they have, can they share that with somebody else?
Hmm.
I'm really excited. And then the final panel, I kind of borrowed from another organization, and it's called "Who's Holding Us Up While We Hold It Down?" And it's talking about, yes, and we're out here doing all this work, all this labor. Who's taking care of us? Not just me taking care of Carletta, but who's taking care of Carletta so that if I need support, I need a shoulder to cry on, or I just need somebody to vent to, just to listen to me talk without judgment, without your extra opinions and trying to fix things, but just to say, hey, come and just give me some space to be just me, without any sort of extra. So I'm really excited about the last panel. I have a few surprises with that as well. So
No, it sounds amazing, and it sounds like I mean, people will walk away feeling, I think, inspired,
oh,
and empowered, but definitely inspired. Because to be around like-minded women who are all trying to, traverse this journey of
yes,
life. You know, um, we do need these opportunities to engage. So, I mean, I want to talk a little bit about, well, no, let's give some details about where this is going to take place and the
okay.
time and if there's cost and all that.
Yep. So it's MastHERpiece, Design Your Life with Intention at the College Park Marriott Hotel and Conference Center. We've been there now for 4 years. I love this space. The food is good, the service is amazing, and they're just uber helpful and have been our partner for the last 4 years. So excited to be back there. It's 9 to 4. And please arrive on time. Y'all, I know it's a thing. We have a hot breakfast, hot lunch, and some amazing conversations. We also have professional headshots that are complimentary with your registration. We have a photographer there to
Nice.
take pictures. This year we have a photo booth that I'm so excited for. It was donated. So you can take pictures and do some fun dances. And then we're gonna have a puzzle. I love puzzles. It's my way of decompressing. That's my like me time. And so we're gonna have a puzzle by a Black female puzzle maker as a giveaway. But also, I'm challenging everyone if you come to help me complete this 1,000-piece puzzle. Um,
Oh,
Between 9 to 4. I'm going to start it for us to give us some like a framework to go by. But I'm really excited. We're going to record it in real time and kind of see if we're able to get it done. Additionally, because it is about MastHERpiece, painting and creating, we're going to have a coloring station, coloring books, markers. One thing I do, I have a 9-year-old son, is we color together. And I never realized how relaxing it could be. Just this
oh,
idea of stopping and so I have some for everybody. I got the big jumbo books. I have the fine, very thin light coloring pages. And then we have some donations of a Black female created coloring book to give away. So it's really about just taking some time to really find some peace within yourself. That MastHERpiece is also peace, as in like how are you finding peace. And then we're gonna have a rest conversation, how rest is revolutionary, and really I have some books donated about why rest is so important.
yeah. I have actually a friend that wrote that book, Rest. Rest is Revolutionary, something like that. I can't remember the name of it. I looked at it on my bookshelf the other day, and I said, "You need to read it, Denise."
Yes, we don't
um,
definitely.
yeah, and I agree with you because during COVID, my youngest son and I started painting together. We would have our
Yes.
Friday night paint and sip. And he used to have to remind me, you don't have to finish it tonight. He was like, no, we can't stop until I finish. I got to finish it.
That's
So that's,
awesome.
that's work. But we might have an exhibit one day. I have 4 and he has 4.
You know what, you definitely should. And one thing I was torn about was if we should paint, but it's too messy. So it's just sip and shade.
Yeah,
You have like little sparkling cider and it's shading because you're coloring. But I love
right,
that you're
right.
doing
I
that.
love, yeah, yeah. That sounds like it's fun. I mean, it's very interactive, engaging. and allows people to sort of, put the guard down and get engaged, from a deeper level. And
Yeah,
I assume that that's what you were trying to accomplish.
it is, and we're actually changing it up. So typically, our room for the panels is theater style. You're facing the front and listen to the speakers. But this year, we're using round tables during those conversations, because we have conversation starters during the breaks, and then also during the sip and shade, there'll be a person at the table to driving the dialogue, not just about what you're hearing on the panel, but what are you bringing, from your own experiences, so we can kind of meet people in different spaces. So I'm excited about that change, and how we even engage with the panelists and also with the audience members. So make sure you come ready to meet new people and learn some new things.
But that highlights, I've heard, the African tradition of the circle, or the Europeans that have people, all looking the same way to the front. But in Africa, they want that circle because, we're all the same. We're all the same. So we talk to each other from that level. So I'm glad that you decided to add that aspect. So, I mean, we talked a little bit about your journey, and you mentioned that you have a lot of things coming up. Anything you want to share with us?
Oh my goodness, yes, I love sharing. So, well, one, just thank you both for your producer, Black Women. I'm always about supporting Black women. I've enjoyed the partnership I had with Washington Informer the 4 years I've been president. I'm hoping it continues. I will continue to be a supporter of what you're doing and how you want to help with the community. I think it's really important that we look at what's happening as positive, still staying informed, but knowing that if you want real news, come to the Washington Informer. So I just want to say that and just thank you for all you've done.
Paying. I should pay you for that commercial.
Denise, I tell you, 4 years as a leader of a Black organization, you see and hear a lot, and you just recognize the warfare we're in as Black women. And so I just want to make sure I always stand in the space of, I'm here to support you. I am here to make sure you feel uplifted and elevated and loved, because we don't get that enough. So just know, if nothing else, I give that to you.
All right. So for those of you all who are watching, if you're thinking you're not sure whether you want to come to this conference, you're going to leave feeling connected, appreciated, loved. That's what it sounds like to me, Carletta, that you're setting the stage for what other women will experience while they're there. So I appreciate that.
No, thank you. And just come. I can just say you will not be disappointed. But as far as me in my other life, I'm a producer of television and film. I have an amazing documentary called Brumsic Brandon, a legacy of art and community, about a Black cartoonist born in DC, raised in DC, who went on to national acclaim, to be in over 65 papers across white and papers back in the 1960s for a cartoon called Luther. And it really depicted Black
Luther, right.
And it has been an amazing journey. I'll say that. And a Black woman, his daughter, Miss Barbara Brandon Croft, it was like, oh, my dad is this. I'm like, yeah, I don't know him. I know you. But she would not let it go. And so now I have this amazing piece, 17 minutes of just some great history. And we're looking forward to turning it into a feature. So you can catch that at film festivals, online and in person. We'll be in Chesapeake or Edenton, Maryland in October at the Chesapeake Film Festival. I'm also working on another documentary about Oxen Run, chasing environmental freedom, just about what's happening over there in Ward Section 7 and 8 when people aren't given the opportunity to participate and what happens to them where they live.
I'm 2 blocks from Oxen Run.
Oh, well, we'll come talk to you.
Can't wait to see it. Yeah.
Partnership with DC. So those are the 2 biggest things I'm working on right now. Plus, just looking forward to getting some rest and writing a book. So stay tuned.
Oh boy, this is this if people leave here with a plan, for the next 5 years or the next 10 years, and start working on it. I'm sure you have put some pieces in place. You probably journaled a lot, just tools that you've used to get you to this stage.
Yes, and it's people too. And 2 things I want to mention about the event. One, if you're underemployed or unemployed, we have a $10 rate. You can sign up, no questions asked. Go to the link. We want to support those women who have not been able to find work or have found work that has not been fulfilling. we understand the importance of having a strong financial foundation and how that can be unnerving and sometimes leaving you feel out of control or not having the confidence. So we're hoping you can come and just fellowship with us from 9 to 4 o'clock on Saturday. I'm putting this in public now. One of my intentions is that if you come to the conference on the 22nd, I'm going to take your information and I'll be doing a check-in every 3 to 6 months. I'm intentional about showing up differently for Black women. I understand the struggle. I understand the pains, but I also understand joy. I want us to really live in joy and happiness. So I'll be sending messages of just encouragement, but also, hey, you said at the conference you're going to do X. Have you done X? And then also call me to the carpet. You said you're going to do Y. Have you done Y? And I think that's what I'm just doing because I want to find a way to continue to support Black women. What I've seen in the last 4 years that I've hosted the event at the conference center, being intentional about having a mental health piece after lunch, is that women have shared things they never shared before, that they come back again and again saying, I really enjoyed this part because it really helped me find this. So that's my commitment. My intention is to show up for anybody who shows up on the 22nd, that you'll receive an email from me saying, hey, you're going to opt in because I'm not going to harass you without your permission. But just know for 365 days, I'll be knocking on your email saying, hey, what's up? And I'm going to do pop-ups across the city. I have one for those who are interested, September, I can't remember the date, but we're going to do a pop-up right after the symposium on Carletta. Just come out and fellowship again. And again, just creating some really safe and organic spaces to just join other Black women.
So I'm going to say that doctor in your title might be the PhD that you got in your accounting or marketing or what I don't know what you got the PhD in, but to me, I'm thinking it's a Dr. Feelgood.
I'm a counselor and educator by trade, so that's where that's from. But my heart has always been, I'm from Georgia, and so the Southern Belle in me wants to show people that we're not all looking for something. It's sometimes those who are just intrinsically willing to make you happy and make you feel good about yourself. So
with all of that, Dr. Hurt, how should people come? I mean, is this like, where we got to do the thing and kind of dress to impress, or can we just come and Saturday attire? How should people feel comfortable?
So it's blue and brooches. And so my favorite color is blue. So it's about me. So any shade of blue you would like to wear, I'm wearing blue today to signify that's your blue. And then brooches. I am in love with brooches right now. I'm in my brooch season.
Yeah.
Brooches are optional, but I would love for us to come, bring our brooches and our blue. So it's blue and brooches. But come as you are. If you don't have blue, if you don't have a brooch, you can still come. But I would love to see a sea of blue. We do a group photo at the end every year to commemorate the experience. So blue and brooches is the theme.
Well, I have had a lifelong love of brooches, and I go out and I can't find them, and so I have a couple, and I've gotten some as gifts because people know that's what I like, and so I'm glad I finally can wear some with some sister friends. So that'll be wonderful.
Wonderful. I'm excited to see what you select since you have a collection of them. I only have
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't have that many, but I do have a few. So any last words? I mean, any words that you want to share before we end, because this is coming up in a week?
Yes, a week. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I would say I just want women to come and start thinking differently about what is possible and understanding there are no limits to what she can do. And this is an opportunity for her to design the next chapter of her life.
Wonderful. Dr. Carletta Hurt, thank you so very much for being with us. And I'm keeping you in prayer. I can't wait to see these films that you're producing. There's some wonderful stories and what comes next. So thanks for sharing this with us and allowing us, the Washington Informer, to partner as well.
Oh, thank you. It's been a journey. I appreciate it.
Wonderful. Have a great one.
You too.
Okay.